Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a guide for round 6 of the manufacturer series. Again, let's get this started. Take this first turn flat out, and just after this turn ends, you want to start to brake before you reach the first total sign that is on the right. Brake as much as you can in a straight line and carefully navigate your way through these turns. Try not to get on the curbs, except for this one right here, as they can be really inconsistent and you can potentially end up getting an off-track penalty. Brake early for this turn. You really want to try to hang out on the inside of the left turn and gradually accelerate your way out. Just after the blue area on the right starts, you want to ease up on the throttle, make use of the curves, but try to get back within the track limits as soon as you can. So let's fast forward through this and look for the photographer on the left. Let's call him Lester for now, and you'll be using him as your braking point. Brake as much as you can in a straight line, slowly ease off of the brakes, and just carefully navigate through here. Carefully start to accelerate, and let's go ahead and fast forward through this part again. And brake just before you reach the 100-meter mark. This is just like the chicane that we just went through, except this one is a little bit sharper, so you want to slow down a little bit more as you make your way through this chicane. Carefully start to accelerate your way out, fast forward through this again, and brake just after the curb on the right starts. This should give you just enough space to be able to successfully slow down, make this turn, just get the car to rotate, straighten it out, and then start to fully accelerate. So you're going to reach this green area on the left. That's when you ease off the throttle, curb on the right starts, start to brake. This should give you just enough space to be able to safely navigate through this corner. Then bring yourself to the left and brake well before you reach the 50-meter mark. You want to try to get as close to the apex as you can, quickly get the car to rotate, and then start to fully accelerate. So let's fast forward through this one more time, and when you reach the green area on the left, you will use some braking. Just bring yourself all the way to the right side of the track. Carefully make your way through this corner right here at full throttle, then start to do lots of throttle control as you go through these next couple of corners. Just be nice and patient with your throttle input. Try to stay between the white lines so you don't get a silly off-track penalty. Start to brake before the pit lane goes away from the main track. Make use of the curbs over here and brake before the curb on the right starts. Make use of the curbs as well over here, and you are good to go. Let's go ahead and talk about the strategies. For the qualifying session, you have 6 minutes to try to get a good qualifying time. Make sure you start the qualifying session with racing medium tires, as you'll only have one chance to try to get that good qualifying time. Slipstream will play a big role in trying to get that best qualifying time, so if you're in a handling car like the Porsche 911 RSR, you want to try to find someone that is, let's say, in a Nissan GT-R, a Ford GT, a Peugeot VGT. Just get behind them and try to get all that slipstream from them so you can make yourself a little bit faster. And of course, make sure that you give yourself and the car ahead of you plenty of space so you don't end up bumping into them when you're going down these really fast straights or when you're approaching the corner. Because the moment you have to slow down to not end up punting the car ahead of you, then you're only going to end up hurting your own qualifying time. Just like how I am over here. I got too close to the car ahead of me and I have to slow myself down, and that's going to really hurt my qualifying time. So once again, just try to get that slipstream, but make sure that you give yourself and the car ahead of you plenty of space. So while you're on the menu that is in between the qualifying session and the actual race itself, make sure you go on over to car settings, change the front tires first to the racing hard tires, and then change the rear tires to racing hard tires. And I'm just showing this really quickly. Just pretend this is the menu in between the qualifying session and the race session. And yeah, so just make sure that you start the race on racing hard tires, because the no stop is actually faster than the one stop. So even though the tire wear rate is not an issue at all, and even though you can get some really fast times on those racing medium tires, the amount of time that you spend on the pit stop changing over from the racing medium to the racing hard tires, it's going to kill all of the momentum that you tried to build up during that racing medium stint. Meanwhile, on the racing hard stint, even though you're obviously not getting the best times, you don't have to deal with the pit stop at all, so you can just pass on by the pit stop, wave goodbye to those who are on the pit stop, as you basically get to pass them for free. So based on the testing that I did, just doing it in a custom race, so no slipstream involved, I was able to finish the race 3 seconds faster on the no stop compared to the one stop. And as I mentioned in the qualifying session, you really want to make sure that you try to get all that slipstream benefits, as that's going to play a huge role in keeping up with those around you. And especially if you're in a handling car, you really need that slipstream just so you can keep up with those high-speed cars. And if you're in a high-speed car yourself, like the Nissan GT-R, the Ford GT, the Peugeot VGT, you're just going to have lots of fun just going down these straights at really high speeds. And if you're in a high-speed car, or if you're constantly under the slipstream, or a combination of both, just make sure you slow down a little bit earlier than your usual braking points, since, well, you're going really fast. So you don't want to end up punting someone off the face of the earth or end up sending yourself onto the wall. And this clip right here is just to show how the Porsche 911 RSR constantly needs to be under someone's slipstream just to keep up with the other cars. As the Peugeot VGT just up ahead over here, he's just pulling away and he's just going to leave me behind. So once again, if you're in a handling car, you constantly need to be under the slipstream to even keep up with the high-speed cars. But that is pretty much it for this guide. Slipstream is king over here. If you're in a high-speed car, you're going to have lots of fun, and just try to go for a no stop on the racing hard tires, since racing hard tires are required. So just start and end on those set of tires, so you don't have to worry about getting that 1 minute penalty. But that's pretty much it from me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA, trying not to get a silly off-track penalty, and I'll see you in the next video.